What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology Retold action. Spawning in the right side of the map, in the blue color, playing as Gaia. You may know him as Matreiuss, but he is playing under the account Boobay. Babes. Boobs. Who knows? But it's Matreiuss. His opponent today, in the red color, joining forces with the pro esports team, Aces. JSS merging with Aces is the big news. His name is Groom, and he is playing as Odin. What a time to be alive, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ourselves a star-studded game for you on this auspicious of days. The map is Gaia, and let's talk about it. We've got some relics on the map to go over, so let's try and figure out if these are going to have any influence on this game. We've got the Svald... Can I say this properly for one time in my entire life? Svad Ilfari's sledge here. We got there in the end. This is going to be giving you your fortress buildings. 0 cost on favor. I cannot over-exaggerate how useful that is for a Norse player. On this position, we've got that Tail of Cerberus there, reducing the recharge time of myth units' special abilities. Tusk of the Iron Boar sitting here as well is absolutely gigantic, and Matreiuss spots that one really, really early. He's going to want to come over here and pick this up, and we'll see if that's what he's going to be going for or not. On this position, we do have the Scarab Pendant as well, which is going to be boosting your siege units' crush damage by 20%, as well as your siege myth units. So your Scarab, your Behemoth, your Mountain Giant, your Colossus. There's a lot of fun things to happen in this game. So, in terms of the big influential relics in this game, I wouldn't be surprised to see Matreiuss grabbing this relic, going into those Contarius in this game and having a very, very successful time with it. But this matchup, as we have to flip the players around, this matchup does tend to sit in the classical age a lot longer than many of the other matchups. The reason being is that's just the way that I've seen it happen. I actually don't know. I actually don't know why. For me, I would be expecting the Norse player really wanted to get to that heroic age. Heroic age is such a big timing spike. You can get that Njord in, and get those really, really strong Jarls in, and all the other good stuff that comes with Ring Giver, Mountain Giant, Walking Woods, all that stuff. And as well as a Gaia player wanting to get to that heroic age through Thea so that she can get access to those Super Contarius and all the other good stuff that can come with that. As the Ravens are going to start moving around, just going to be scouting out this map. Let's see exactly what our main man, Grass, has got to show for himself. He's going up through Freya at the moment, as Oceanus is the god of choice here for Matreiuss. Matreiuss hits the classical edge really, really fast here. Military barracks coming down. I don't even think he's grabbed himself an economic guild just yet. Double military barracks, no economic upgrades, completely ignoring that part of Gaia in this game, deciding, why would I grab myself economic upgrades when I can just get myself military units out instead and get on the front foot here. In the main base here for our main man, Grass, he hasn't started producing anything just yet because he's not in the classical age, but we will be waiting to see what he's going to go for. But as he's scouting around, one thing that I really, really like with Norse is to just wait until I know what my opponent's going for. If I scout out double military barracks here, I might simply just drop double longhouse. And that's exactly what we're seeing Grass doing here. And he can go straight in to some throwing axemen to really, really slow any sort of early game down, as one hero Murmillo's out, grabbing up that Tusk of the Iron Boar, sending that one home. Meanwhile, Valkyrie coming through. Matreiuss has got another Murmillo hero searching up here, maybe wanting to grab that Tail of Cerberus. This is going to be impacting the Caladria, which Matreiuss is building quite a few of as well. 25% reduction on that special attack means not only pacify the ability which slows down enemy units, but also that other healing, or that burst heal that the Caladria's got there as well, is going to come up as we do see Pacify coming in. Murmillo Does a little teleport action there. And that Valkyrie getting a lot of crucial information, but is going to take a lot of damage as it retreats away. Meanwhile, Caladria coming back, and Matreiuss as well knows exactly what's coming for him. He's got the double longhouses. The double longhouses could mean throwing Axemen, could mean Berserks, could mean Herdmen. So you have to be ready for everything here. As in the main base here, we are seeing a counter barracks coming down finally here for Matreiuss. But Matreiuss, he can just sit in his main base for the time being. Double Caladria is out, just getting a little bit of line of sight here, making sure he knows what's coming. One Cairo Ballista on the way here. Matreiuss needs to spend those resources a little bit. He still doesn't have any economic upgrades here. So he doesn't have like any reason kind of in a way to be like this defensive, but he's just finding that, I guess, Odin a little bit challenging to deal with. There's another counter barracks coming down, and Matreiuss wants to move away from these Murmillo, it seems. Move away from all of this stuff as this hero Murmillo does get prevented here. Cairo Ballista is going to get a little bit of damage done. He can always burst heal that one back up to full HP there, no problems. As you've got to be so careful with the Cairo Ballista. There's this one thing that I've started to work out with Cairo Ballista just from watching. I haven't actually implemented it yet in my own gameplay, but in fights, you should always be scooting your Cairo Ballista. Stay on the outskirts of the battle as best as you can. Never sit still. They take 2 seconds to recharge. That's quite a distance they can travel to stay away from the enemy units there. So you don't start scooting just when the enemy starts attacking. You make sure you're at the very edge of your range. That 20 range in the fight is very, very important. So we do see a Great Hall coming up here for Grass, as he's going to be wanting to get out some raiding cavalry so he has something to deal with those Cairo Ballista that are coming out. And now also, if Matreiuss wants to here, he can go for Catapultes because he's already forcing out raiding cavalry by getting those Cairo Ballista. So you can kind of predict that this stuff is going to happen a little bit without even needing to scout it out. As you can see that Matreiuss doesn't know what's happening. He's going to be sneaking around here. I'm not sure if this is intentional or not. Do you guys know if you can actually hunt? Is this working just because I'm on the thing or not? It could just be because I'm the observer. I'm going to have to test this out in the editor. There could be a little cheeky hunt checker thing going on that is going to be important for everybody to be aware of, because just sitting out here on the hunt in the middle of nowhere, that's a dangerous move. As Matreiuss here going to get 2 villager kills and an ox cart kill. That's 100 resources down the drain, plus villager gather time on it, or build time, I guess, so an extra 20 seconds on that to build it back up. That's a lot of resources down the drain there, as Grass sitting on the front here is getting more houses, getting everything set up, but now Matreiuss getting those raids in. He's even in the main base getting more raids in. He could just go, you know what? I just need to sit back and just sit on this villager lead that I've just constructed, get a really, really big army, and then take a good fight when I hit my full population, because I know that I'm going to be in front at that point. But we'll have to wait and see if that's what he's going to go for. A couple more of those Caladrias would not go astray. Let's just take a look at Matreiuss's spread of these oracles. Look at this. He's on the back position over here. He's over in this corner as well. As the Murmillo going to be retreating back, they do get spotted as Matreiuss is just trying to split up his Murmillo very, very nicely here. He can also speed walk those Murmillo out of here if he wants to. For those of you who don't know how that works, basically, did he not pick that one up? Tale of Cerberus is so good. The way that you make that work is speed walking is your units trying to get into formation, and they do move a little bit quicker when you do that. So yeah, you just have to kind of grab both of the units when they're kind of far away from each other, and then just right click where you want them to go, and they're going to move a little bit quicker, or the ones that's further away are going to move a little bit quicker. But still just little cheeky raids coming in with this one Murmillo over there. The army of Grass is very, very scary. Even after losing those villagers, being behind 10 population on villager count, he's in front on military. He's got no economic upgrades. Matreiuss has got no economic... Oh, he does have the economic upgrades coming through, though. He's got actually both of them. And that's going to be something he's going to have to sit in his base and just defend. He doesn't have watchtowers through just yet. So if Grass wants to pull the plug here, he might be able to really get some serious damage done in the main base. Forest Fire to open this up as well. Villagers getting brought back. Catapultes moving up to the top side here. Good control there from Matreiuss to get into both of those manors and keep himself alive. But the manor over here is going to be getting taken down very, very quickly, as Grass here, going to jump onto those Gaia trees. Still got this, or not Grass. Keep getting confused. I don't know why I'm saying Grass is the Gaia player in this game, but nonetheless, Matreiuss here getting back into his main base. He might have to start thinking about farms here as another counter barracks is going to be getting dropped onto this position. He's got to be careful for forest fire onto this position here. Can be really, really good. That's exactly what he's going to be going for as the unit's going to be retreating back. A little bit of missed micro there from Matreiuss as his Kyroballists are getting caught here. He's got to retreat the back. He does have those Caladria here who can burst heal up the Kyroballister. He's also got himself that Carnivora technology or gold power, which he hasn't dropped down just yet. As the army of Grass coming in, the population very, very close here. That Talented does a lot of damage, and Grass way, way, way overcommits on this fight here, and he's going to have to pull back out. And now Matreiuss is in an incredibly good position moving forward. He's going to be able to push back those catapults. Came in absolutely clutch. The Mamillo's doing tons of damage. Does he have weightless mace as well? He does have that weightless mace as well, getting himself extra speed and damage there. As the raiding cavalry moving up to the top side of the map, units going to be chasing after them there as the army going to be pulling into this position here as well in order to try and get a good fight. He's still got that Carnivora God Power, well worth dropping that down as he does go for that. Going to be hitting those throwing axemen away from the fight, able to take out the raiding cavalry over there as well. As citizens on this position are going to be getting taken down. A couple of Caladria are in to heal up the citizen if he needs to, but Terma moving forward as well as the Kyroballists are getting a little bit out of position here as the Valkyries are starting to come through. Now, Matreiuss needs to be careful not to overspend that favor, not overspend resources on military units, because he needs to get those heroes in order to deal with the Valkyries that are getting created in this game. Matreiuss here floating just a little bit of resources, but he can spend them very quickly on some of these back units here if he wants to make a couple of Terma. He's getting that frontline heroics technology. Very, very useful. You get a lot of resources back for this one. I can't remember exactly what it was. Something like 20 resources back per hero. So if you make 5 of them, you've paid that one off. Obviously, the favor is free, but there is a limit to the amount you can actually have with only 3 oracles. So you be the judge. If you want more, you got to start paying for it. But this is going to allow Matreiuss to just get a ton of units out right now, a ton of heroes. So we do see some units up onto this position, and I just want to check this once again. Look at this. I just don't know. I don't know if this works or not. I'm going to have to test it. I'm interested. I'm sure it's not supposed to work, at the very least. I'm sure it's not supposed to, because that would be... It's a trick from back in Legacy time, right? But we are seeing the fight attempting to come in. If I was Matreiuss, I'd be thinking about trying to wait the 20 seconds for my next Carnivora there to come through. But those Catapultis here trying to take this fight. But it does look like Grass has managed to overpower on this position. A lot of units out of position here for Matreiuss coming down to this spot here. Going to be looking to hit that gold mine there as the citizen get pushed off. Matreiuss with the big throw in this one. Just needed to secure that gold mine. He was in a perfectly reasonable position, but he's gone and set his units off over onto here. He's going to be getting a lot of villager kills on this one as the army has to pull back. Is there a market up somewhere here for Matreiuss? He does not have that, as we do see a cheeky little Carnivora getting dropped down here in order to take out some of those berserks, as the Murmillos are getting some good damage on this fight. Going to be able to take out a lot of those villagers there. Whole bunch of berserks getting converted over here as Matreiuss will have to retreat back to his Carnivora, but good control there from Grass to not overcommit, as the villager differential is absolutely gigantic right now. Matreiuss, all he needs is to put everyone on wood or food and get himself a market, sell, get himself up to full population, and he's going to be completely fine then to move out of his base and get the gold mine. But he's not to know exactly how this game is going in terms of villager differential at the moment. Obviously, he knows that a couple of villagers were converted over here. He knows he got a lot of villagers on that raid there. The Murmillo are going to get sniped down very, very shortly here. So we still don't have a market. There's the market. This is big here for Matreiuss. This is the way to play. If you're ever gold starved, if you're ever behind on military, you've got yourself a decent amount of resources in this. Now, we do see that Grass has sold resources already in this game. Actually, has he? No. That's just Matreiuss has sold at the outset there. As soon as that market came up, he sold a whole bunch of wood. He's going to be able to rebuild those units, but he does have to be careful. Needs to get his units back up to population here as the army retreats back home. And what is our main man, Grass, doing at the moment? He's out of food. I mean, he's got the food down the bottom. He's got the food down the bottom he can move to, but that's about it. As the Mamilla on the front here are getting taken down very, very nicely. In the main base here, we've still got time here for Matreiuss. He's queuing up all his units here. In his main base, he's got himself 4 counter barracks, 2 military barracks. So that's going very, very well as the Valkyries slowly starting to move forward. He's got so many Valkyries on there. 5. That's going to be a challenge there. There are a handful of hero units here for Matreiuss. Does he have armory upgrades? No armory upgrades just yet. You have to be also remembering that Tusk of the Iron Ball also hits those termites, so they're a little bit stronger than they otherwise should be in this game as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, we've also got Grass with no armory upgrades, as Grass is just sitting on this gold star as hard as he possibly can. He's got units everywhere. If I'm Grass, I'm actually not even thinking about towers here. I'm thinking about military buildings on the front, one over here, one over here, one over here, just to make sure there's nothing, no funny business going on. Terma getting caught out of position here. Those raiding cavalry are going to get some very, very much needed kills. Oracle on the front going to get sniped down. That's big there. That one is out of here. But the army is starting to mass up. It's 150 to 146. Plus, there will potentially be a Carnivora here for the next fight. He just needs to wait on that favor. 8 per minute. So 1 minute. If 1 minute passes by and he doesn't spend any, he will be able to have that Carnivora for the next fight, which is very, very big. But towers up on the front. Market coming down here for Grass just to check things out. If we take a look at the market, you can see a lot of wood has been sold here. As why would you go after this spot if your name is Matreiuss? Just go off to this spot over here. There's no problems with that. Citizens moving forward onto this gold mine for some reason. What is the idea here? There is no advantage right now in terms of the Carnivora. Just yet, Caladrius are going to be duking around in this fight here. Nice job here from Matreiuss. But the army of Grass doing a great job. It's a very, very close fight nonetheless, though. Citizens coming forward will be able to shank down. We do see Skadi on the way as the army is managing to clean up, it seems, the Atlantean army here. And Matreiuss, after all of the good play, has to tap out in this one. What a game here, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, the more I'm looking at this, the more I'm like, Matreiuss is just playing it so well. I don't even think Matreiuss needed to leave his base just yet. He could have thrown down a whole bunch of farms, which he's actually got. He's got 15 villages on those farms in the main base here. Take a look, and he's probably got irrigation as well. Oh, he doesn't even have plow. Wow. If he has plow at the very least, he can have all these villages on food, and now he's still got a whole bunch of food he can be selling for gold at the moment to get himself even more units out, get up to that full population, push out onto one of these outside gold mines would have been completely fine, and wait on Carnivora. That's such an important god power. When your opponent's spamming out all of those myth units, that's where their favor is. That's where they're spending it. You've got to spend it on myth units too, and you've got that god power there. 25 favor for a Carnivora on top of those throwing axemen is absolutely huge in these fights. Another little trick here for the Caladria in the fight is to use this this patrol thing over the top of the throwing axemen, so they get distracted in the fight as well. So there's a lot of really nifty tricks here with the Gaia to get an advantage in these fights that makes the game very challenging for the Norse player, but Matreiuss doesn't use them. Grass gets the dub. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we've got a game 2 here. These guys have run it back on the ladder. Grass is staying with his Odin. Matreiuss swapping into his Oranos. A little bit more power in his god, a little bit more strength here for the Oranos. He gets that shockwave, which can be really, really big. He can also go through Prometheus if he wants to, though I think Oceanus is the stronger choice in this matchup. He does have that Prometheus as a little bit of an offbeat strategy. Reason for Prometheus over Oceanus in this matchup would be strictly for Prometheans. You're going for Promethean Murmillos, and that can be a really, really nice unit composition to kind of tank up what your opponent's making in the throw and axeman. You put your Prometheans onto the throw and axeman, you put the Murmillo onto everything else. It can be a good way to play. And also it just costs food. So you can really go into a heavy food-based economy and be able to afford everything. That being said, I definitely think that Oceanus is the better idea because you get access to serrated blades. You get access to Bite of the Shark. Bite of the Shark causes serrated blades. Serrated blades is 0.75 divine damage over 3 seconds, I think. So is that right? I think that's right. It might be less. It's a lot of divine damage over 3 seconds. So just think about it as a very, very good upgrade for those Murmillo. And then when you're using the Carnivora in the fight, I've heard a couple of top players kind of talking about the right way to use Shockwave in this matchup. And basically the way that they say it is you want to drop the Carnivora down on the back line of the Throwing Axeman. The Throwing Axeman will then move away from the Carnivora, and then you Shockwave the Throwing Axeman back in to the Carnivora as an idea. But we'll see how the game's going to go. We do have those cheeky little oracles scouting around, trying to figure out the entirety of the map here. But Grass is just going to be opening exactly the same way. There's not really a whole lot of differences in terms of, I guess, strategy when playing the Classical Age against... We have to alt-T this again. In the Classical Age for Odin against Oranos as Odin against Gaia. Both of the gods have got the same things, especially when the Oranos player goes Oceanus. But the thing you have to be careful of is mostly just you don't get the good raids, so you can't hit that very well. And you can't take a great fight early because Shockwave is going to be absolutely game-ending. So you've got to be really, really careful with your army. You can't be making mistakes here with your army. As we do see that Empyrean speed coming through nice and early here, as Matreiuss wants not just Bite of the Shark Murmillo, but also speedy Bite of the Shark Murmillo. As we also see on the right side of the map, Sky Passage coming up. No surprises there. Sky Passage pretty cheap as a early game building here. Only 5 favor. So spending this is 10 favor, which does impact the amount of units you can actually build. So if you see your opponent getting these Sky Passages down, you know that they are spending some favor elsewhere. At the moment, the favor income is only 5 favor per minute, though I imagine Matreiuss is moving his oracles. He's got 0.07 times 3 times 60 is how you work out his favor income. So you do the math. He's also got actually an oracle hero out as he's picking up some relics here. We haven't discussed these just yet. We do have that Gungnir. I still think it's Grugnir. Gungnir Odin Spear. This is going to help out those Catapulties. Unfortunately, it doesn't affect your Murmillos, but it will be getting onto those Catapulties if Matreiuss decides to grab those. On this position, we've also got the Sharon's Obel, which I'm not 100% sure how this works. If you convert villages into Berserks, I don't think you get those resources back. I don't think you do. But if your villager just simply dies, then you do get the resources back. I think that's how it works. Someone correct me in the comment section if they think they know. As we see another relic over here getting grabbed, the Cathara of Apollo. This is a really, really important relic in this matchup. Those villagers moving up by 10%. The Murmillo moving up by 10% means that the villagers will be able to escape at roughly the same amount of efficiency as they would normally do with those, with this buff not being being in this game. So this is a big, big deal here. And funnily enough, we're also seeing Matreiuss just going for 1 military barracks at the moment as a cheeky little Valkyrie moving in onto this map, getting a little bit of harassment in, just a little bit of smacky smacks as there are no... Oracle hero getting, or not Oracle hero, but Oracle getting targeted down. Matreiuss not paying attention here. He's going to be losing that. Oracle dives into the tower. Nice job there. Is he getting any units out? We do see a hero Murmillo coming back home on this position. We've got the Caladrius scouting things out over here as the villagers do get pushed back. But there are a whole bunch of units over here already. The Galadriel can heal this bad boy up, and he should be able to escape here, no problem. As he does get that burst heal off a little bit too early there. Citizen snipe here, though, from Grass, as the Valkyrie is still going to be losing a lot of HP here. What is Matreiuss doing? I have no idea. Wait, is he throwing down another building? An armory is coming down. This is out of sight, out of mind here for Grass. This is something that I'm sure that Grass is not going to be prepared for. A lot of Oranos players play this one very, very one-dimensionally. Spam Murmillo out as hard as they can and call it a day. And you have to respect that, right? As the Odin player, as the Norse player, because they can just... One, that you can't really raid him because they can just teleport away from that position. You don't have the faster units because he's going Murmillo, so you have to make those throwing action. You can't just go into raiding cavalry here. And yeah, this is a really, really nice idea here from Matreiuss. A little bit of that metagaming coming in. Maybe not metagaming, but just kind of playing around the opponent's ideas of what they can and can't do. And I imagine here that Matreiuss will be able to go through Hyperion, and he's going to be able to hold whatever comes at him if Grass goes for an all-in as soon as he sees that Hyperion. So we do see the Raven checking out onto this position. Sky Passage can get taken out very, very easily. We're seeing the Raven scouting around here. If we take another look at the position, still no idea that there's an armory up. Still no idea of the amount of military units in for Matreiuss. But I do think that you almost have to move over here and attack this Sky Passage just in case. But the thing is here, what if Matreiuss is just sitting in his main base pumping out units at the moment? What if he does that? He just pops into the Sky Passage, drops out, and he just completely massacres your army with a really nice Shockwave, Carnivora, and then he's just in front. But doesn't matter. Hyperion's clicked up, Sky Passage down. That's going to be a little bit painful, but Matreiuss back into his main base. He's still got all the goats in the world. He's still got those chickens over there. He's got 2 Sky Passages in his main base. What? I understand the idea here. He's just like, I can teleport from one side of my base to my other side, so if my opponent's going to raid me, I'm just going to be completely fine. As the citizens move a little bit further away from the Sky Passage, running over here, moving over onto this spot. A couple of Murmillo in this position here, as Grass has got to be thinking, oh, man, where are all of the military units? Where are they? Something must be happening here. Watchtower's up. Something must be happening here. Villagers getting pushed off of this wood line over here, pulling back into the main base. At the back of the base, just the 2 military barracks up for the time being. He can make Arcus straight away, but I think the more important unit is going to be making those Satyr out, as the Watchtower on the front does end up getting taken out, but does lose one Berserk for it, which, I mean, that's a good trade for Grass, but Matreiuss knows what he wants here, and he just wants that Heroic Age, and that's it. So we do see a military barracks coming up. And here's the other funny thing. Just because you see the armory doesn't actually mean the Heroic Age is coming in. You have to be scouting the actual army to know what's happening, because there could be armory upgrades coming through, which are really, really useful. But Heroic Age is in. You can drop Chaos down onto those throwing axemen. I like that movement there from Grass. Keep your units nice and close. The way that Chaos works is, if it's used on a bunch of units, it's going to get finished quicker. If you use it on just a couple of units, it's going to last quite a long time. And you really just want the Chaos to be getting used on units that counter each other, and that's about it. As the army going to be retreating back, and Grass at the moment, 108 of 125 population. Satyr's coming out here for Matreiuss. In the main base here, it's still just 3 military buildings, a couple more military buildings, or armory and market getting dropped down. I still don't 100% understand why people do this. This is seeming like it's kind of meta, so to speak, is that when you drop your armory, you drop your market as well. Especially as Norse, if I'm going to be dropping my market, I just think, just send the Berserk, make the commitment, get into that corner, put the market down, and then start putting walls up and just prepare for the late game nice and early as like a really, really solid way to play. Just in case you're going to have to get those trade caravans out at any point. You want to be set up for it, and you don't have to worry about it later in the game. Is there a best way to use the Chaos? Yeah, you want to be using it on just on units that counter themselves. So throw an Axeman, Hypaspist, Axeman, Peltast, Slingers, basically counter units. Use it on counter units that counter themselves is my understanding of the best way. So you see it comes in a, can I see? Yeah, so you see the circle? I would try and use it like this on the outskirts of the army, just hitting just those thrown axemen, right? Or maybe also hitting the berserks as well. But mostly just the thrown axemen is totally fine. And you also want to use it in tandem with engaging. Don't just use it randomly in the middle of nowhere. If you engage, then your opponent's going to be attacking itself. You're going to come in, you're going to kill all those units, and you're going to be really, really happy about it. But Matreiuss at this point, getting out an army. He's got some very, very strong Arcus in the army, plus those Satyr are really, really good. We also see, I'm not sure I like this option here from Grass. I think that the better option, like probably 9 times out of 10 for Odin, is Njord. Just because you get Jotuns for those Mountain Giants, and you get Njord, and you get Ringgiver Jarls with Thundering Hooves. They just have so much HP. They're so strong. As the army of Matreiuss slowly pushing out here. But Skadi is in. Population differential is kind of close, but there is still that Chaos, Shockwave, and Carnivora combo left in the tank here for Matreiuss, as we do see a cheeky little Frost coming down. Catches half the army. There will be Chaos at the moment. You could just use it now if he wants to, or you can just wait, Shockwave the army away, and then just retreat, and then be in an okay spot. The problem is all of his Satyr are caught out. How many Herser are in this army? Only 4. He does have a Frost Giant as well, as we see a Hill Fort getting dropped down onto this position. A couple of units going to be charging in here to try and take this out. He could drop Chaos down on these bad boys here, but Grass not paying attention as those Contaris come through and absolutely wreak havoc on the throwing Axemen there. Contaris get bonus damage against them, as we do see the Raiding Cavalry coming in, going to be sniping down those units over there. The Carnivora gets dropped down there as well. Still Chaos available. Maybe you use the Chaos over here just as the units pop out, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing there. Oh my golly gosh, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs, Anonymous. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the support. As the Carnivora going to be taking out a whole bunch more units. We've got those Satyr here going to town. There's so many of them. Those Hearse are just not enough numbers there. On the retreat pass, Shockwave getting dropped down, and Grass is stuck in here, losing even more units. He's going to be pulling back into his main kind of production area here, but Grass has got the advantage right now. Grass is on, oh sorry, not Grass, Matreiuss has got the advantage right now. Grass is on the defensive as he's going to be swinging around down to the bottom of the map here, looking for something to do up onto the top side of the map. We do see Matreiuss trying to find the gold mines. Does Matreiuss know the map layout? Yes, he does. It's going to be here. You got to know that's where it is. Meanwhile, units coming down onto the bottom side of the map here. Nice path blocking, managing to snipe one citizens there is Matreiuss' Sky Passage. Not quite in the best position possible there at the moment, but we do see the units coming through. They've got a spot onto that wood line here. Will Grass notice this or not is the big question. We do see the units coming back over here in an effort to defend, but this is a strong army from Matreiuss. He does have only one hero though, with the Frost Giant coming through. He does have that Caladria in to get the heals back in as well, but just going after villagers at the moment just to get as much damage as he possibly can in. And meanwhile, we've also got Matreiuss onto 4 oracles. He's going to be continuing to build those out over this game. Lots of resources in the bank to be spending at the moment. In terms of economic upgrades here, we've got ourselves... Is that more? Anonymous, what are you doing? Thanks so much for the support, man. I don't even know how many that is. Thank you, my dude. Appreciate it. Means a lot. Let's go. As the dwarves getting all their wood income, doing all the good stuff. We see the units starting to push forward as well. On the back side here, units are going to be retreating back ever so slightly. And then the lull before the storm, as next fight, there's going to be another Shockwave available. Or there's going to be another Carnivora available. Or there's going to be nothing available because we're buying upgrades. But no grabbing of town centers just yet. No grabbing of palaces. I think Grass has got access to the Heroic Age. Did he finish that? No, he might not have finished up the Hill Fort. So he might not have access to the Mythic Age. Not Heroic Age, the Mythic Age. But good. Look at all of those Satyr at the moment. There's so many. But Grass very smartly countering this beautifully. Get out a bunch of Goaty. How do you kill the Goaty? Terma, Contarius. Those are your options as Atlantean. So you've got to be really, really careful right now if your name is Matreiuss, because this army is scary and there's no favor in the bank. There's enough for a Shockwave. Shockwave onto those Goaty and then get in there. And then get in there as the army is going to be engaging really, really shortly. There's no heroes at the moment for our main man, Matreiuss, but there is about to be a Shockwave. Where do you use it though? Onto the back. There's the Shockwave onto the Goaties to help those Satyr stay alive. Population differential is heavily in favor of Matreiuss at the moment, as those Goaty do manage to start getting some damage down onto those Satyr, but you've got to keep microing it. I've got the Herser over here as well. Satyr are going down, but the rest of Grass's army is getting absolutely massacred at the moment. Frost Giants on the back going down. Goaties on the front here. they're going to have to retreat back, and they're all out into this position as now Matreiuss can get his eyes set onto this gold mine and start going for the jugular here. How many military buildings here for both players? 6 here for Matreiuss, and not a single counter barracks. There's a ton of buildings in for Grass, as well as the wooden wall starting to get targeted down. We will be seeing Matreiuss being able to break through here very, very shortly. More units coming through. There is a little bit to be scared of here for Matreiuss, but he's got all the momentum at the moment as Grass is microing beautifully, utilizing this wall incredibly well, and also repairing it up with those units at the back, but the Arcus will be able to get in here to get some nice damage done, as well as the wall finally goes down here. Matreiuss needs to attack, move his units. He's not attacking on that position, and in the moment there, though, Grass says that's the game as he GG's and takes the dub. Really well played here by Matreiuss. We were talking about how strong that Shockwave, Carnivora, Chaos is. And I think the one thing here that Grass kind of underestimated, maybe, is what? Scouting. Information is king here. He's got those Ravens. He's got to get in and just see what's happening. If he spots the armory, if he spots only one military barracks in this main base, he can go, oh, he's going for the heroic age. Let me get aggressive really, really quickly here. But if you let your opponent just go, I'm going to get to the heroic age, I'm not going to get touched in this game in terms of my economy, that means that I've paid off my heroic age really, really quickly, and I'm going to be able to get a huge amount of advantage here with those Satyr and the Chaos and everything else, and that ends up being the game. I like the idea here from Grass from going for Skadi, but I think he would have had a little bit of a better time if he has that Njord. Why? Walking Woods, big boost to the army. Chaos subtracts from your army, but Walking Woods adds to, Chaos subtracts from your army in terms of the damage that you're going to deal to yourself, but the Walking Woods is adding to your army in terms of value there. So it ends up being a decent trade in terms of god powers. Plus you get those Jotuns, which are really, really useful in a fight as well. I really want to see the Odin players going for that. I understand why. I understand the appeal of Skadi. The big appeal of Skadi is this upgrade right here, but we didn't even see that one coming in Winter Harvest, because you get an extra 10% on huntable herdables, berry bushes, as well as a 20% on farms. It's really, really good technology. There's not really anything else that's super worthwhile. This upgrade here, Huntress Axe, not really the most useful, and I don't think there's anything else in it. Rhyme, Frost Giants are decent, but I don't think they actually get more value than Jotuns do at the moment, especially when your opponent's got ranged myth units. If your opponent's got battle boar, melee, like in your face myth units, then the Frost Giants can get in and freeze them really, really easily, and you can have a good time of it. But Grass can't make it work in this one. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys in the next game.